Hey, how's it going? Cole here. And in this video, I figured we'd go through and talk about how to go through and build a Chrome extension for yourself. You can use it to automate a bunch of different systems or tools or interconnect things in a really fun way that a lot of people just aren't doing now. And I'm actually having to do this for clients so we can help automate some lead scraping. That way their sales team can go through, build their own lists and customize what they want to capture. And so that way the rest of the automations are going to run completely after it. So if you're interested in this, let's dive in. Also, if you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow for more. And jumping into this, so when we want to go through and build a Chrome extension, something like this, it's really important to first understand what is it that we're even trying to do, right? If you don't understand what you're trying to do, how are you going to do the Chrome extension? How is it going to be helpful? So in this instance, we are going to do a automation so that way we can initiate scraping Google search results. And so we've pulled up this Apify console, and I've opened up a new make scenario. I've come down to webhooks, hit custom webhook, and then created this webhook here. So that way we can actually use the Chrome extension to pass data into this webhook. Now, why do we even need a webhook? Well, a webhook essentially is just like this magical address, think of like an email, where it can have data sent to it or received from it, and it allows us to then output whatever the information it received. So it is just doing the transference from one place to another, sort of like the middleman. And it's perfect for us because we are going to say, put in information within our Chrome extension, right? Fill in a few fields, put data here, and then we're going to take the data we gave it and put it somewhere else. So here we are. We have the webhook. We've copied this webhook ID. We've already come over here under Apify and knew we want to do the Google Maps scraper. We got a good idea under looking at the runs here and coming over to inputs, all of the different pieces that we need in order for us to do the data pulls. And so what we want to do is I want to actually just give the entire sales team the ability to update any of these fields accordingly and then push in what their dynamic answers are, right? So instead of them wanting to say scrape contacts as false, maybe they want to say, yes, I do want to, or they want to pull more locations or like total businesses in this Greenville area, or they want to change the location, etc., right? Whatever they want to do. So how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to go over to Claude because I think it just does the best job of providing a nice, beautiful output. And we're going to put in the following. Now, that is the ugly version. We're going to paste in the pretty version. I'm going to walk you through this. So that way you have some context and clarity. I didn't want to spend 20 minutes sitting here editing this, so that way it looked good for the sake of this. Also makes it easier for us to walk through it. So what am I doing? We're in here, we're in Claude. I'm even on the free version, as you see here. We're saying, hey, I need you to build a Chrome extension for each of these files. And, well, I need you to go and build a Chrome extension with each of the files being separated. We want the files separated so we can download them individually, or it tries to compress it and it actually causes some annoying issues for you. This way, you can manage it all yourself. And I need the images to be within the same folder as everything else. So that way you can just drop all your images into this. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a moment. Now, this Chrome extension must have outputs be sent to the webhook field that we use in the URL, like the one below. The user must be able to enter and save their webhook. And I mentioned this because I really want that person to be able to update if they decide to put it towards a different make scenario, right? Maybe they want to do the same thing, but a different automation of actions using that same data. We want to be able to change where that data goes, right? So I said, hey, let's have a field that allows us to change where that is. The data that they're going to pass is outlined below. And all of this here is really saying, hey, here's that raw data output, right, that we just saw on Apify of like the input that we need to give it in order for it to give us an output like the following, right? So it can say, hey, here's the companies that we saw. Well, in order for us to do this, we want to just give it a very clear understanding of what it looks like and how it should be sent in. Then we need to have each of these JSON variables set as fields that the user is able to customize. When they submit the data, we want to make sure that there's clearly a button for them to use. And then let's just say, hey, let's make some branding look nice and pretty, matching this company. And if they need help, there's a fancy little icon or whatnot that allows them to go and check out our website. What we're also going to do here for fun is we're going to upload a image so that way it has some branded context. Let's find a Brain Gears image. There we go. And let's have this run. So it's going to go through and run and do its thing, and it's going to start working on curating each of the Chrome extension pieces. So it's clarifying what it is, and then it's going to go through and start doing the build out. Again, what's really nice here is the build out of this gives us the ability to do so many things. So while that's working, we're going to work on the next step here. And what this does is when we do receive data from that webhook, we now, in this instance, are going to call Apify. So we're going to say we want to call Apify, if I can spell, A-P-I-F-Y, and we are going to run and actor. And so in here, we have a couple different ones. In this instance, we're going to say Indeed Job Scraper. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to input the response from here into this field and allow this to run. So we'll get that set up here in just a minute, and we'll let it do its thing. So how this works is as it comes through and gives you these outputs, we're simply going to come in, copy, download as JSON. We're going to get rid of the little space that's down here. So he says manifest-json. Get rid of that and put a dot there. That way it actually saves the file. And we're going to go through and do that for each of these. Now, once it's completely done, you'll put everything underneath one simple folder. And so in this example, what I've done actually is I've gone through and created a folder, gave it a name, doesn't really matter what the name is, and I've made sure all the files are within this. So that's really what we're going to be uploading. So once this is done, we're going to say that we've copied all of these. You're going to end up having really these top 4, at least from every single one of these, and then these extra 2 may just come through. This is a visual of how it should probably be stored, so that way it will show up just fine. Now, we should be able to just upload what we have here, but I want to show you how this works. So once you've gotten everything, you've put all the files within the folder, you want to come up here to this little puzzle icon. Now we're going to come over to Manage Extensions, and it's going to give you this page. Now, if I put everything in there correctly, I didn't really check too much, we should be able to come over to Load Unpacked Extension. This allows you to upload like your own custom extensions, and we're going to select Folder. Okay, great. And so now you see Brain Gears Data Connector is here, and all I got to do now is come back over to my selection, and there it is, Brain Gears Data Connector. So now, up in my browser, I have this as an option. And there you go. Without any extra crazy effort here, we have all of this data put in. And look at that. We even have a little thing that if they need help, they can come in and put it. So again, in this instance, we're going to copy this address. We're going to put it in here. We're going to say youth sports, New York. We're going to do 10 with website. And what's really cool with this is it automatically knows some of the filtering that it should have here based on the inputs that you're giving it. And so, yeah, we're just going to submit. Please check your webhook URL. So we're going to actually copy this. So we're going to do the following. Please check your webhook URL. And so sometimes if you do get issues with the code, what it's going to do is it will just update the submissions so that way the event listener's passing data correctly. So once this is done, we will then be able to update this and then get it pushed over. All right, so we've gone through and we've made a few of the changes. We went through and I actually went and had it remove the setting just for the webhook, just for the sake of this example. It was working just fine, but I wanted to make sure that it was going to be simpler for most things that we will be doing. So once you've gotten all the files, you've gotten all of the data in here, what you want to go through then is actually make sure that your Chrome extension's been uploaded. And then we're going to go through and do a test. So how you go through and do a test, we can actually disconnect this. We're going to hit run once. So what's now happening is that the webhook is actively looking for data to come in. And so we're going to now open up our Chrome extension that we just built. We're going to go to the location query. We're going to go New York, USA. I want to send 10 results. I want to make sure that this has web results. Here's the search string that I wanted to capture. And yeah, that's everything. So we'll say now I want to go through, I want to push all of this through, right? So I'm a sales rep. I wanted to go through and do this specific type of scraping, and this is where I want to do it. So we're going to hit submit data. Boom. All of this then gets pushed in. So now you see it's under one singular bundle, which is amazing. So what technically could occur here is you could give this same Chrome extension to 10 different sales reps. They all could have submitted this at the same time, and you're going to get 10 different bundles, right, of each of their own unique inputs. So in here, you'll see all of that data that we passed. So he said, hey, we want to pass it through. We want to target you New York. We want to crawl 10 different locations in New York. And what is the search string that we're going to use? Oh, well, we want to target youth sports leagues in New York City. And here's the information. So once that runs, you'll then basically, you're doing this. You're passing this data. So that's what's really cool here. When we say run an actor, all that's occurring here is that we're getting this information. We're then connecting it here. We then can take all of this, and I would actually do it this way, just so it's cleaner. We'll copy this request, input this, and we would go through and update the query formatting. So location query, how many results did they want to scrape, right? We're going to go through and we would want to input these values. And so once you've gone through and done this, right, you go through and do all of this, you hit save. Once this is ran, what's going to end up occurring is, at least on this side for this specific platform, you're going to end up getting runs right in here. So then you'll end up getting individual outputs. Once that's complete, then it just is off to the races and starts doing a bunch of other really cool things. So this is just one of the many examples. Another one I always love is coming in and pulling like notations for YouTube videos. So maybe you go to a YouTube video you really like and you're like, oh, you want to create a Chrome extension to save it to your watch later list, or to be sent as a thing to be sent to your sales team. Like, oh my God, this video is great. I think that they should check it out. I'm going to Slack it using this. I'm just going to like auto send a message to the team where it's like, hey guys, great video, check it out, go and start at this point, right? Like I could create a Chrome extension to do that. So there's a bunch of different things. I hope this gives you a cool little idea, or maybe help spark some different directions of what you could do. If you're looking for easy wins, I always recommend looking at how you can help to maybe build a Chrome extension to automate some marketing or sales activities, or just to be like a nice little interface that you're using instead of looking at Make or looking at like a Google Sheet. All right, I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, comments, want me to show you how to build something or give you a more specific example, drop it down in the comments below. See you in another video. Thanks.